Hello everyone, in this video let us look into batch and continuous fermentation. Microbial fermentations in liquid media can be carried out under different operating conditions like batch and continuous fermentation. In batch fermentation, the batch fermentation involves a closed system where all nutrients are present at the start of the fermentation within a fixed volume. The only further addition may be acids or bases for the pH control. After the fermentation process is over, the product is harvested and the remnants of the media and the cells are discarded and a next batch is started afresh. So in batch fermentation, we get to see all the growth phases during the fermentation process, that is lag phase, log or exponential phase, stationary phase and death phase. Now, when you inoculate the microorganisms into the fermenter tank, the microorganism will take some time to adjust to the conditions that are present inside the fermenter. So, that is your lag phase. Once lag phase is completed, the microorganisms will continuously divide and multiply in the log phase or the exponential phase. And during the log phase or the exponential phase, they produce primary metabolites. And once the log phase and the exponential phase is complete, once the nutrients are depleting, then the organisms will enter stationary phase where secondary metabolite production will take place. Once all the nutrients are depleted, it enters the death phase. So therefore in batch fermentation we can go for biomass production. Biomass production and primary metabolite production will happen in the log phase, and the secondary metabolite production will take place in the during the stationary phase. So therefore we can go for biomass production, primary metabolite production and secondary metabolite production in batch fermentation. However, batch fermentation has certain disadvantages, that the internal conditions of the fermenter continuously changes and it will never achieve steady state because of the sequence of growth phases that happens inside the fermenter tank. Every time we start a new batch, then we have to charge the fermenter with a fresh medium. This fresh medium that is being prepared has to be sterilized. The fermenter has to be sterilized every time we start a new batch. Every time it has to be inoculated with a fresh culture. Then the harvesting process also has to be carried out under aseptic condition every time we do a new batch fermentation. Every time the batch fermentation is complete, we have to clean the vessel. So these are the several disadvantages of batch fermentation. Moving on into continuous fermentation. Continuous fermentation is a flow system wherein the constant volume is being maintained. Here constantly there is a continuous addition of media into the fermenter and the removal of the product that is being formed. So the cell number and the nutrient state remains constant in the continuous fermentation system. Therefore, they will always be in the steady state. In continuous fermentation, we do not get to see all the growth phases. Rather, we get to see only one growth phase, that is log phase or the exponential phase, because here already once we set up the fermentation, initially the lag phase is seen, but once log phase is achieved, continuously the fermenter tank or the fermentation process remains in the log phase or the exponential phase, because there is continuous addition of media. So the media or the nutrients will not deplete in the fermenter, so there is continuously the microorganism keeps dividing and they will be in the exponential phase or the growth phase. So in continuous fermentation, there is continuous addition of media. So how much amount of media is being added, that much amount of product also will be harvested continuously in continuous fermentation. Now the continuous fermentation is of two types, that is chemostat and the turbidostat. In chemostat, the regulating factor is the limiting nutrient. The concentration of the limiting nutrient that is present in the fermenter is the regulating factor. Say for example, if an amino acid is getting limited or it is getting depleted in the fermenter tank, then the media will be supplied immediately. The media will be supplied into the fermenter tank and the product that is being formed will be harvested immediately. So here the rate limiting factor or the regulating factor is the limiting nutrient, the concentration of the limiting nutrient that is present in the fermenter. In turbidostat, the regulating factor is the cell density. So the turbidostat is provided with a photocell which will measure the absorbance and the turbidity of the culture. Once the cell number is increased, then the turbidity will increase. So at that time the cells are being harvested and the fresh medium is supplied into the fermenter tank, so that more cells are being divided. So the rate limiting factor here, or the regulating factor here in the turbidostat, is the cell density. So we will stop here, and in my next video we will look into the different types of fermentation based on the growth pattern. Thank you all.